start again. It's a rich thing.
Hello guys, today in this video, we're going to help you to find out the best floor standing speakers in market. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their quality, durability, customer review and more. If you want to see their price and find out more information about them, you can check our links in the description below. Number 9. Q Acoustics 5040. If you twisted our arm and told us to pick the floor standing speakers that we felt were providing the best value for money at full price right now, the Q Acoustics 5040 would be hard to beat. The British brand's 5000 series sits in between the more budget 3000 series and the pricier concept range, with the 5040 acting as the smaller of the two floor standers in the series. As is the case across the 5000 line, the 5040 used the brand's continuous curved cone design for its mid/bass drivers, bringing together the rigidity advantages of standard conical cones with the high-frequency breakup characteristics associated with a more flared design. The results are a triumph. Match them with slightly more refined partnering electronics and the 5040 will sound magnificently precise and clear, with agility and grip to give that full sense of fun and life. Number 8. Polk Audio Signature LED S55. If you have a small room and want a pair of floor standing speakers that will operate with minimal fuss and are a breeze to set up, then we recommend the Polk Signature S55. Despite their ported design, they are remarkably unfussy regarding their positioning and will give you a wide sweet spot to play with. The sound is effective, if unremarkable, with smooth mids and surprisingly crisp highs. We like the price, too. $498 may be a little more expensive than the Onkyo SKF 4800, but the S50s are worth it. That's not to say they don't have their downsides. While 90 decibels sensitivity isn't the lowest on this list, we couldn't escape the fact that the S50s felt too quiet at times. They didn't have the power and authority of other speakers, like the excellent ELAC Uni-Fi 2.0s. They should be just fine for small rooms, but if you have a large space to fill, it's worth exploring other options. Number 7. KLH Kindle. We admit that we haven't experienced too many speakers from KLH before. We are very happy we got to rectify that, because the Kindle floor standers have a lot to recommend about them. One of the things that surprised us the most was just how powerful the bass was. It quite happily went toe-to-toe with the SVS Prime Pinnacle. If not in raw power, then certainly in clarity and depth. If you're a fan of bass-heavy music genres like EDM or hip-hop, you're going to love the Kindles. They look great, too, with a thick wooden body that still feels elegant. However, while listening to the Kindles, we couldn't help but feel that they were a little too traditional. They were a solid set of floor-standing speakers, but they didn't get the pulse racing in the same way that, for example, the ELAC Uni-Fi 2.0s did. The bass was killer, but there were no other real surprises here. Consider these a pair of very good, but not quite top 5 speakers. Number 6. Deli Oberon 5. We do have a soft spot for speakers that are relaxed in their positioning, and the Deli Oberon 5s definitely count. Unlike other speakers on this list, like the Focal Core 826, you won't have to spend time carefully adjusting their position. They have a wide and forgiving sweet spot, and even simply positioning them straight on will give a good result. It's a result worth waiting for, too, with sound quality that is engaging and entertaining. Thanks to the big sweet spot, the soundstage is wide as hell, and we can safely say that the Oberon 5s are among the more realistic speakers on this list. The problem is that this forgiving nature isn't quite enough to elevate it above other choices. There is a significant amount of competition at this price point, and less expensive models like the Q Acoustics 3050i are arguably better options. On their own, the Oberon 5s are an excellent pair of speakers. Number 5. Dayton Audio D652. Generally speaking, we'd advise you to steer clear of floor standing speakers under $200. At that price point, it's very hard to get good results. Dayton Audio are among the few companies to do it successfully. and their T652 speakers manage to produce solid sound quality at a very affordable price point. These are perfect for smaller rooms, and if you want to spend a little more and boost the sound quality even further, you can spring for the D652 Air versions, which include an air motion transformer tweeter which gives you more detailed audio. That said, we think the base D652 is good enough to buy on its own. As the Dayton Audio D652s are budget speakers, you can definitely expect some distortion at higher volumes. You also won't be able to use banana plugs for your speaker connections here. These speakers use spring clips, which means you'll need to rely on bare speaker wire. Number 4. ELAC UniFi 2.0. The ELAC UniFi 2 may zeroth no longer be our top pick for vinyl listeners, thanks to the stellar Triangle Borea BR8, but we still consider them a top 10 speaker. They are three-way, with a good range of extension down low, and they really managed to bring out the warmth and energy of a vinyl soundtrack. ELAC have continually managed to innovate over the years, and while these speakers were originally designed for use with AV receivers in home theater setups, we think they really thrive in two-channel systems, especially if your source is a turntable. That said, the ELAC UniFi 2.0 is relatively expensive, at over $1,000. We also don't think they are for anyone who demands clear, neutral, balanced sound. They don't have the realism of something like the SVS Prime Pinnacle, which may be a problem for those who don't like additional color. Number 3. Q Acoustics 3050i. Small rooms challenge big floor standing speaker, and one that intends to rise to that challenge needs a technological advantage. The 3050i from Q Acoustics has the company's Helmholtz pressure equalizer, a dampening tube inside the cabinet, designed to tackle resonance. The cabinet itself is specially braced to help with clarity. While we certainly don't think these are the best speakers available, and they definitely have some deficiencies exposed in rooms over about 150 square feet, they perform exceptionally well in this particular context. They are far better at this than speakers from the likes of Jamo below. They feel forgiving and natural, with an easygoing sound that is a joy to hear. The deficiencies of the Q Acoustics 3050i speakers are most noticeable in the bass, which is weak and unimpressive when listening to music, although when paired with a subwoofer and surround speakers for home theater, the 3050i speakers crush it. Number 2. KF-R7 We agonized over this one. KF makes such excellent audio gear, and have been doing it for so long, that it was hard to pick which of their excellent floor standards to include. In the end, we had a choice: either make this entire list run down of the best KF speakers around, or pick the one we thought would suit most people. For us, that's the new R7, a great option in a line that includes the R11 and the R5. This is right between those, and it's superb. Believe it or not, you get an awful lot of bang for your buck with the KF-R7. The sound is effortlessly clear and clean, with superlative dynamics. The design is clever, too, with neat plinth feet that help isolate your sonics. That said, you shouldn't go for these unless you've got a really solid amp and DAC combo, maybe even a dedicated pre and power amp. While they're very good, they work best when the other bits of the signal chain are of similar quality. Number 1. Sony SSCS3. We recently re-evaluated our budget floor standing speaker options. While there were plenty of models available, we thought we could do better and find a model for you that would just knock it out of the park. And we did. The Sony SSCS3s are everything we want from an affordable pair of speakers, delivering clean and clear sound quality that feels natural and realistic. Unlike many inexpensive speakers, the SSCS3s have a solid build and looks that are as clean as the sound. They are quite old now, but have aged spectacularly well. Other affordable models like the Onkyo KF4800 perform well, but why would you buy them when you could have a pair of speakers that are as assured and confident as these? In our opinion, however, there are some rough edges to the SSCS3s. While in general, the sound quality performs well, we did notice that movie audio could be a little harsh and grating at times, with the trouble becoming hard to listen to.